Lobster Magnet. Lobster's a 10 I told you grab it.
Hey, welcome to Lobster Magnet's Review, the channel review. I'm here with my buddy Gorogregoro.
What's up?
And Zavule.
Evening, folks.
We are here to talk about One Piece, chapter 176 or 78? Or 876.
876. Jesus
876.
I-
Numbers are so fucking long.
I love this
Look,
chapter.
it doesn't matter
Baka.
what number it is. All that matters is putting is Jesus Christ yandere as fuck. Jesus. Fucking Christ.
It's kind of weird if you go back. You were suggesting that possibly maybe this was Oda's point that she was a completely unstable woman, and now she seems like she's a completely fractured and unstable woman in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still disappointed that Sanji is on board with that. Because literally everyone else, including Luffy, is just like, you need to get the fuck away from this.
There's like a great moment where Pudding's ranting about her yandere stuff. It was like, I want to kill you all, my darling, and they're all just all have the same jaw dropped expression, like.
It's like we need to go now.
I thought that was an awesome panel, by the way. It's just,
and then Luffy's had the best line. If you're gonna say something like that, then get the fuck away, get away, just leave us alone.
Everyone is just so confused. Like, is she our ally? What the hell is going on?
She's mostly kind of helping them, but even though she keeps on saying I just wanted to see you all die, and I'm super evil, and she's completely split.
I'm curious to see how it's done in the anime, because her emotions are flip-flopping like crazy. I just read the "got it, thanks" is the most sarcastic way possible. Yeah, got it, thanks. I couldn't have fucking noticed my goddamn self.
Yeah, which part was that? The got it, thanks one?
Sanji just looking up at is it Lola? I'm sorry, Chiffron. Mm-hmm. And yeah, got it, thanks. I completely understand she's not stable.
Yeah, that'd be interesting how they translate that. How is Sanji, what is Sanji experiencing after just this whole turmoil of emotions that Pudding is unleashing on everybody?
I don't know, but I am baffled that he got on the carpet with her.
That seems like a really bad idea.
She has the ability to manipulate people's memories, and she's completely bug nuts. Way more bug nuts than I expected. So bug nuts that even Luffy is just kind of wary of trusting or even interacting with her. It's oh yeah, I'll get on the carpet with you. That sounds like a great idea.
It's I feel like Oda legitimately writ actually real mental illness into this character, and everyone's just kind of flabbergasted how fucking bizarrely
well, she's not even trying to hide it. It was always oh, this is the secret Pudding that she hides because her facade is that she's completely nice and cute and she's the perfect little pumpkin of adorableness, but this is what's lurking under, and now there's no pretense at even trying to hide it.
I'm
just full yandere mode.
Yeah,
but it's the most mentally ill kind of yandere you've ever seen, I think.
Well, it's completely Tourette's. She's flipping from panel to panel. It's kind of amazing that Sanji even when I guess on some level he feels that she's not on a level aside from her memory altering abilities, that she's not on a level that could hurt him. I guess he thinks that because he's got observation hockey, and does he have armament? I forget. I feel like he's just mainly
Sanji has armament.
So
I think that's part of what his flaming kick things are.
Yeah, because his black leg Sanji, and
Zoro has at least armament hockey, so I figure Sanji does as well. Remember when they're fighting the Kuma robots?
I always thought that like Zoro kind of got like armament and Sanji observation because
I remember watching some of the clips of the anime from the fight with Germa 66 and Sanji's fight with Judge, and I think they mentioned he had armament hockey.
yeah, I guess that makes sense. Of like
He
the
starts
black legs.
blocking spears with his feet, so I think he does. You just don't see it because he wears a black suit. Which
So
I have to say would probably be the smartest thing to do if you're using armament hockey is to dress in black.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No one would be able to tell whether or not you're using it until you punch them in the face with it.
Good point.
Yeah.
Versus
That's
like
a good strategy.
That is like the critical weakness we've seen of like all the like we've had like several guys where it's like the ultimate thing of like my body is completely black with armament hockey. I am the ultimate with like that guy who kept on getting food on his face, Virgo,
Oh, God,
as well as
yeah.
like the super buff Pika guy, and they both had like the I'm super armament hockey, and then they still got like sliced through by Law and Zoro respectively.
And you know, I think okay, this is interesting because remember when Rayleigh was fighting against Kizaru? Like he never had like the black armament hockey when he was fighting Kizaru.
That I think because like Oda hadn't quite like outlined like what the visual rules for armament hockey were. Like as good as Oda is at planning stuff, I feel like that was something he determined after the time jump after he took his like break.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it was like kind of like a visual guide for mostly the reader. I feel like.
Yeah, like we don't have Whitebeard using any kind of like armament hockey, but he obviously would have to since like every other fucking Yonko has been able to do it.
Yeah, and he does fight like against like Suzuku, and he gets Akino, and he gets like several hits on him. So it's obviously there. It's just like I guess one of those little inconsistencies that like considering all the other stuff that Oda manages to do, I guess you can let it fly, or at least I do.
Yeah.
I think it was the way he visualizes armament hockey now is like mostly for the reader's sake, just so they can distinguish like, okay, this, because he's in armament hockey and this with just his fists, he's able to, do much more damage and withstand Logia types.
I mean, that would be an interesting point if he just didn't make that distinction, and it was up to both the reader and the person fighting them to figure out whether or not this person can do it, which I feel like would be a massive disadvantage for Logia users, because now all of a sudden, like every single time you fight somebody who's a certain kind of powerful, you have to wonder whether or not they can use hockey and whether or not you just turning into your element will get you killed.
Yeah, just look at Kizaru's reaction to Ben Bickham.
our favorite hockey moment in the entire series.
It's like,
ooh, shit! I guess I should be scared now.
the equivalent of a stick in the One Piece universe.
Did you just point a regular flint pistol at me or a hockey-induced flint pistol at me?
There you go. Maybe that's Oda's like super genius.
Yeah, again, I really want to see more of him, just so I know whether or not he's has some sort of speaking disorder where he's just permanently sarcastic, or if he was actually just like trolling Ben Beckham.
Like 90% of his lines all sound condescending, so like, there's like a few moments where he's like sincere.
That trolly, or if he just like has a personality quirk like so many other people from One Piece. Is that like the speaking equivalent of Virgo just having a cheeseburger on his face?
Just perpetual smug voice.
Yeah.
So bringing it though back to this chapter though, what do you guys think of like Brook and Chopper holding down the fort against the Mooks? We still haven't gotten them fighting. We want that fight against them, against the Lickety guy, or the fucking everyone's favorite, member of the Charlotte family, Dogtooth.
Oh God, Brooke has just gotten so many good moments in this arc. He's really kind of coming into his own instead of just kind of being a really sad, extraneous member of the Straw Hat crew.
I agree. He had a really great, awesome moment, like taking Big Mom on one while like sneaking in the poneglyph in his skull. That was really cool. But I kind of wanted to see him and Chopper like struggle a little bit more, like during this boat battle.
They've fought against goons, so they haven't fought anyone real yet.
Yeah,
And we don't know if we're gonna get like a big one-on-one fight.
I want to see their asses get kicked, like at first, like horribly messed up, like on the brink of dying. Like, I feel like I wanted this to be super earned by Brooke, and Chopper in some respects.
I think we're gonna get that once the actual fight starts, but that looked like they were mostly surrounded by goons. That's kind of like the equivalent of like Zoro just slapping the shit out of a bunch of Marines.
I guess so.
It's interesting though. We're getting like Oda doesn't do as many like big one-on-one fights between Straw Hat crew members and like the subdivision commanders. I wonder if that's like just because like the scale of the story is now so sprawling that he like does those very sparingly, except for like the top tier people.
Yeah.
It would be nice to like maybe like the Kaido arc or something to like go back to that sort of like kind of like pure one-on-one matchups that is like the bread and butter of any good shonen.
Yeah, because I mean, Jesus Christ, I don't think we've had a really good, everybody gets engaged with something that it kind of pushes them.
Ever since the time jump happened.
Yeah, it's all just kind of been like a clusterfuck mostly.
Yeah.
And then Luffy gets like a big signature fight, and then maybe you get like little sporadic things, and like maybe Zoro gets one, but yeah, and then everyone else just takes care of like the other mooks. Yeah, you haven't really had like a, let's see how far they've come by pushing them against X member.
Yeah, we haven't had like a Bon Clay versus Sanji or something like that in a while.
Yeah, or like CP9, the giraffe guy versus Zoro, or the wolf guy versus Sanji, or Nami versus Cleflika, or Frankie versus the owl guy.
Yeah, we haven't seen something like that in a while. It's kind of a shame.
I wonder like if it's because Oda like really wanted the time jump to feel significant in terms of a power boost for these characters, for the Straw Hat crew.
But I mean, there's a difference between just like looking at something and going like, God, this is fucking easy mode, and like really displaying how far these characters have come by pushing them a little bit.
Yeah, because like it's either like they either get like, oh my god, this New World guy is so powerful, he took them out in one hit, or they're just like mooks who they like steamroll. Because like watching like Nami and Robin take down like the new Fishman pirates is not satisfying in any respect.
God, it really wasn't.
Yeah, that was just like easy mook mode, or just like taking down all those Horty Jones pirates.
I almost wonder if he's like scathing it for the eventual matchups for like Blackbeard's crew, because obviously they're like the big version of the dark version of the Straw Hat Pirates, and maybe that's like his next big thing.
I really want to see more of that. I every time they show up, I get so fucking excited. They don't do much of anything.
Because real shit's going down when the Blackbeard Pirates, and we've gotten so little of them in the time jump. Just little sprinkles here, just like little morsels, but not much. Just like building up this big myth, which we will hopefully learn about soon. But oh man, Big Mom's certainly living up the hype. She got hit by like the huge thunderstorm, and she's still going for that fucking wedding cake.
Yeah, I'll be honest. This is kind of closer to what I expected out of like the Big Mom food rage.
Like nothing can stop her. Although I'm wondering
I'll be honest, like kind of what I expected out of this would be like her just like trashing everything while like the 8 days later, in the house in a minute, or in the house in a heartbeat thing plays, and she's just like running across the island, just murdering everything in her way, while like, just like a complete quiet instrumental piece plays, and everyone just runs screaming.
Well, let's say that, like, Sanji, this cake, it probably will be. It'll be an awesome cake. It'll be, like, the best thing Sanji's ever made. She'll probably, like, get her out of her, like, food rage. But is she gonna, like, just be like, okay, guys, you can go now because the food was so fucking good? Like, they've got a pretty big rap sheet of, like, fucking up her shit now.
Yeah, they really do. I don't know what the fuck is going on there.
so even if she's out of the food
I don't know.
rage...
Although maybe there is a pun in there. It's like, I'm gonna make a cake that'll make Big Mom faint. It's like, okay, so flour, sugar, 50 gallons of sleeping pills, rum,
Maybe we'll get like a Shokugeki no Somo foodgasm from Big Mom, and it'll knock her out. And it'll be so sweet and tasty that it just, like, that's how they defeat her. Then they could Kuda burst and get away from, like, all of her subordinates.
Yeah.
I imagine something like that will happen, and man, I still can't get over the whole pudding thing, like, in this chapter. I feel like that was, like, the main thing that happened.
It's so weird, though. Oda, I guess, is like getting his cake and eating it too, and like kind of redeeming her, but still making her be like really super evil.
Yeah, I'm curious. What do you guys? How do you guys feel about this? Like, she's become super tsundere, but was it a turn you kind of expected or didn't expect?
I mean, I like I said, that's kind of a possibility I've been looking at. I still hate her as a character, and I still hate her so much. But, I mean, I guess this is better than the complete heel face turn.
Or she's just, like, super good. And,
although, quite frankly, that's still not off the table yet, so...
It's still leaning, like, 60% heel face turn, but they're just, like, at least not, like, getting rid of, like, the evilness completely under the rug. It's still... Now it's open for everyone. There's no hiding it.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so what do we guys want to rate this?
I give it an 8.
Oh God, yeah. I guess
it wasn't my favorite chapter, but it was amusing enough. It was a good One Piece. Although I'm getting a little bit of arc fatigue. I want this to be like wrapped up in like the next 5.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7.5, just because most of this involved one of the characters. I just kind of want to get kicked in the face in new and obnoxious ways. I do kind of get a little bit of arc fatigue going on.
I'm worried a little bit that, because pudding is so, like... I feel like she's throwing a big wrench in the kind of, like, the whole One Piece Straw Hat kind of crew a little bit. It's like... I don't know. She's just... It doesn't feel very genuine. Like, how do people react? How other Straw Hats gonna react to her? Like, they're just like, most of them are in disbelief, but like someone like Sanji, like,
well, it's not like she's joining the fucking crew. She's gonna be like off in Ark Forget Land after this is all over and done.
Right.
Pretty much.
Right, I know that, but like like Sanji's character, for instance, like, how is he gonna, react to someone who's like so like blatantly distrustful? Like,
I don't know. I still hold out hope that she gets kicked in the face. It's tiny, meager hope, but it's there.
There's some sort of like kind of punishment.
I'm very wary of like where like the whole pudding thing is going. So I think I agree with Scott. I might give it a 7.5 for this chapter.
I think that's fair. Like, I was being a little bit more generous, but I completely understand. There's part of me that's like, it was in the more like, 7-ish range because, I want this to be over. This should have been over. I wanted Big Mom to eat her children, and that would have been like the best way to end this arc.
That should have just been the end of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I want the little Oda box with like the fucking narrator who talks about the state of the world and let's go to the reverie. That would be great. That'd be a great transition thing.
All right. So what are we shilling?
I'm thinking Face Off, the movie Face Off. The classic 1995 brilliant. John Woo movie with Nicolas Cage and John Travolta where they switch faces and personalities.
Oh my
Sure,
god.
go for it.
So go.
I would
watch
never have
Face Off.
thought anything as brilliant as that. That was
Okay.
If you
Perfect.
want like completely side-splitting media crazy choices. So go check out Face Off. And so thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe. We love your comments. I eat them like jelly. Yes, I do.
So uncomfortable.
just like Big Mom's cake.
Yeah, exactly. So remember, lobsters and tennis, but don't you grab it.
Manga's made of iron, lobsters made of ice.